wow, she just took a knife of clarity. The first thing she said out of her mouth was just like this knife of clarity. I'm like, whoa. You want some of your favorite questions as far as what you ask people that kind of like help them find clarity.
Right. So there's a lot of people who will come to me around purpose and career. There's so many people at this point who have been doing what they were doing for 20, 30, 40 years. And something happened during COVID where, like, about mid 2023, started getting more people coming to me and saying, I want to find a new job, but I don't even know what I want to do next. So for those people, what I end up doing, and this is something that I did with myself when I decided to transition into coaching, was I asked them, well, what makes you happy? Right? Think back to when you were younger. When were the times you were happiest? Who are you with? What were you doing? Who are you being? And so I think just sitting with that question alone, if you really get down to the bottom of it, it just starts exploding your mind. Because then you start with the next follow-up question. Well, if I enjoyed doing it before and that made me happy before, why am I not doing it anymore? Right? And then from the next question from that, maybe it is in childhood, I wasn't allowed to do it, or, I did it and it got me in trouble. And so now what's happening is that's where our nervous system is getting rewired to misalign from who we were born to be
Yeah.
because of
Uh,
conditioning. So it's a matter of now circling back and coming back to that. So sorry,
all
the
right.
other so the other thing is that's like the let me go find the happiest moment. The other way a lot of people I address it with is what are you suffering with the most? What are the challenges that you're going through right now? And where are you feeling it? What's the pattern? Because what happens is if something is happening, it doesn't show up in just one area of your life. It's showing up in multiple areas of your life.
What would kind of be your next? My sense is you have some very well thought out questions, and I'm kind of,
Actually,
uh,
it's not about well thought out questions. It's about paying attention to what someone is doing and feeling and saying, right?
yeah,
So
yeah,
like you were saying, you don't look at the chart, you're
yeah,
looking at the person in front of you and you're reading what's going on with them. So
yes,
I'll pick up a lot on nonverbal cues from people. Their body language shifts, their eyes go somewhere else, the volume that they're talking at changes, the speed at which they're talking is changing, right? So there's lots of cues everywhere. Um, I our bodies are very, very intelligent. So that's another
yes,
place I will look, right? Where are you feeling it in your body? So there's a lot of stuff, and this I went through this personally, which is again, a lot of the stuff that I do now is it's personal experience that eventually translated over to other clients. And so when I was getting ready to leave corporate, what happened is I kept getting sick. And I would go to the doctors and they were like, your test results are fine. There's nothing wrong with you. And I'm like, well, I'm not feeling fine. And somewhere inside, I was kind of starting to feel like I think my time in corporate is over and I'm feeling called to do something else. But there's still that safety net of I'm not ready to really let go. And
yeah,
when I finally made that decision to leave, almost every single symptom I had was gone overnight. Overnight.
funny
So
how
like
it is funny how that works, huh?
yeah, so it's incredible. And so like after that I started thinking back. And so this is how you train yourself to the point of listening to your inner voice, right? You start training yourself where you go, "Oh, I just had this realization. My body is actually very intelligent." Well, what else has it told me that I haven't paid attention to? Right?
Yeah,
So then you start going back and you go, I had this weird like thing where I had laryngitis 2 times in a row in like 3 weeks. What was going on at that time? Oh, I noticed something was going wrong within this relationship and I was not speaking up.
yeah,
Laryngitis, that's your throat chakra, right? And so the more you look at it and you go, "Oh my gosh, I have ignored my body So many times I've ignored my intuition. Like I knew, oh, that person doesn't feel right to me for some reason, but we say, oh, I'm just going to ignore it. I'm going to lean into it. Well, guess what? Several weeks later or months later, it comes back to bite you in the ass.